Welcome to Southwest Desert, where adventure meets the arid beauty of the American Southwest. Join us as we explore the rugged landscapes, uncover hidden historical gems, and dive deep into the rich legends and culture of this iconic region. Subscribe now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on our latest desert adventures. Please leave a like or comment. This is very helpful. Let's journey together into the heart of the Southwest Desert. In the shadow of the towering Guadalupe Mountains, where the endless Texas sky meets rugged limestone peaks, a story of courage, determination, and American expansion unfolds. The year is 1858. The California gold rush is in full swing, and a nation divided by growing tension seeks connection across a vast continent. Before the transcontinental railroad, before the telegraph line stretched from coast to coast, there was the Butterfield Overland Mail, a lifeline of communication spanning 2,800 miles from St. Louis to San Francisco, crossing some of the most treacherous terrain in North America. And nowhere was the journey more perilous than through the forbidding Guadalupe Mountains of West Texas. Welcome to Southwest Desert, the channel that explores the hidden histories carved into the American landscape. Today, we journey along the Butterfield Stage route through the Guadalupe Mountains, where bandits lurked, Apache warriors watched from hidden vantage points, and stagecoach drivers pushed themselves and their teams to the limits of human and equine endurance. This is not just a story about mail delivery. This is a tale of America's westward ambition, the clash of cultures, and the individuals who risked everything to connect a growing nation. The Butterfield Overland Mail Company began operations in September 1858, fulfilling a government contract to establish regular mail service between the eastern United States and the booming settlements of California. John Butterfield, a transportation entrepreneur from New York, secured the lucrative contract worth $600,000 annually, approximately $19 million in today's currency. The route stretched across the southern United States, a strategic choice to avoid the harsh winter conditions that had proven deadly on more northern paths. From St. Louis and Memphis, the southern route converged at Fort Smith, Arkansas, before continuing through Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and into California. The entire journey took approximately 25 days, a remarkable achievement for the time, though modern travelers might balk at spending nearly a month in constant transit. Within this expansive route, the segment through the Guadalupe Mountains presented some of the most formidable challenges. Rising dramatically from the Chihuahuan desert floor, the Guadalupe Mountains form an imposing limestone reef, the fossilized remains of an ancient sea that covered this region 250 million years ago. Today, Guadalupe Peak stands as the highest point in Texas at 8,751 feet, a silent sentinel watching over the desert below. For Butterfield stagecoaches, this terrain meant navigating narrow mountain passes, steep inclines, and treacherous descents. The stark beauty of the landscape belied its dangers. Water was scarce, temperatures fluctuated dramatically, and the isolation made travelers vulnerable to attack. The stagecoach itself was an engineering marvel of its time. The Concord coach, manufactured by Abbott Downing Company in Concord, New Hampshire, was specifically designed for rough terrain. These coaches featured a unique suspension system using leather thorough braces, essentially leather straps that allowed the coach body to swing rather than bounce over rough terrain. This design gave rise to the term stagecoach swing, describing the swaying motion passengers experience throughout their journey. Each coach carried up to 9 passengers inside on 3 bench seats, with additional passengers sometimes perched on the roof. The cramped quarters forced strangers into intimate proximity for days on end, creating a unique social environment where class distinctions often dissolved in the face of shared hardship. Life aboard the Butterfield stage was anything but comfortable. Passengers paid approximately $200 for a one-way ticket, equivalent to about $6,000 today, for the privilege of enduring conditions that tested human resilience. The coaches traveled continuously, day and night, stopping only to change horses at stations spaced roughly 20 miles apart. Sleep came fitfully, if at all, as passengers attempted to rest while being jostled over rutted trails. One journalist who made the journey wrote that passengers were jerked, tossed, slammed, bumped, and shaken, until their heads seemed ready to snap off. Meals were hasty affairs at station houses, where travelers had just minutes to consume whatever food was available before the coach departed again. The standard Butterfield schedule allowed no time for leisure or sightseeing. The Guadalupe Mountains segment featured several crucial stage stations. The Pinery Station, situated at the base of Guadalupe Pass, served as an essential waypoint. Here, fresh horses were hitched to coaches, and passengers could briefly stretch their legs while station employees worked with practiced efficiency to prepare the stage for the next grueling section of trail. Archaeological excavations at the Pinery Station ruins have revealed a surprisingly complex operation. The station consisted of a main building constructed of limestone, corrals for horses and mules, blacksmith facilities, and living quarters for employees. These stations were not merely pit stops but frontier outposts of civilization, each maintaining a small community of workers dedicated to keeping the mail moving westward. The men who operated these stations lived isolated lives, constantly vigilant against attack from hostile forces and the unforgiving environment itself. Station keepers typically managed a staff including hostlers who cared for the horses, blacksmiths who repaired equipment, and cooks who prepared meals for employees and passengers. Many were former soldiers, adventurers, or those seeking escape from more settled regions. Beyond the physical hardships of the journey, travelers faced the omnipresent threat of human conflict. The Butterfield route cut through territories long inhabited by indigenous peoples, particularly various Apache bands who viewed the stagecoaches as intrusions into their ancestral lands. The company established its route just a few years after the United States had acquired much of the Southwest through the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo and the Gadsden Purchase. But these diplomatic arrangements with Mexico meant little to the Apache, who had never consented to either nation's claims. For the Apache, the Guadalupe Mountains held profound significance. The range provided not only tactical advantages for observing vast stretches of surrounding desert, but also spiritual importance. Apache oral traditions speak of the mountains as sacred places where deities dwelled and where ceremonial knowledge was revealed to their people. The intrusion of stagecoaches, with their noise, pollution, and the further encroachment they represented, constituted both a physical and spiritual violation. Attacks on coaches and stations occurred regularly, though historical records from this period often reflect the biased perspectives of European American sources. What settlers described as unprovoked raids were frequently understood by indigenous peoples as justified resistance against trespassers or retaliation for specific grievances. The complex dynamics of these intercultural conflicts cannot be reduced to simple narratives of heroes and villains. In addition to indigenous resistance, travelers faced threats from bandits who recognized the vulnerable stages as lucrative targets. Robberies were common enough that many passengers concealed valuables in secret compartments or false-bottomed luggage. The isolation of the route meant that help could be days away, and justice often came through extrajudicial means when it came at all. Despite these dangers, the Butterfield Overland Mail maintained a remarkable record of reliability. During its nearly 3 years of operation along the southern route, The company rarely failed to deliver the mail, although schedules sometimes suffered delays. This consistency proved crucial for connecting California to the rest of the nation during a period of national expansion and increasing sectional tensions. The success of the Butterfield stage was ultimately short-lived. By 1861, the outbreak of the Civil War made the southern route untenable as Confederate forces seized control of key territories. The service shifted northward, and technological advances soon rendered the stagecoach obsolete. The completion of the transcontinental telegraph in October 1861 meant that messages could be transmitted almost instantly across the continent. 10 years later, the transcontinental railroad connected the coast with a much faster and more comfortable mode of transportation. Yet the legacy of the Butterfield Overland Mail endures in the physical remains of its infrastructure and in its contribution to American connectivity. The company employed over 800 people and maintained approximately 250 stations across its entire route. It represented one of the largest business operations in the country at that time and demonstrated the nation's commitment to binding its distant territories together through communication. In the Guadalupe Mountains, traces of this historical episode remain visible to those who know where to look. The ruins of the Pinery Station stand as a testament to human determination, preserved within what is now Guadalupe Mountains National Park. Visitors can still walk portions of the original trail, imagining the rumble of approaching coaches and the clouds of dust that announce their arrival. The establishment of Guadalupe Mountains National Park in 1972 has helped preserve not only the natural splendor of the region, but also its cultural heritage. Park rangers and historians work to interpret the multi-layered stories of this landscape, from its geological origins to its significance for indigenous peoples to its role in westward expansion. Join my Patreon community and discover my art print products on my website in the links provided in my description and link above. Also, if you would like a particular image from my videos, give the timestamp for image, and I will upload it to my website and Patreon. Thank you for joining your desert frontiersman Alan for another Southwest story. Check out my large catalog of Southwest videos and playlists on historical tales, legends, lost gold stories, and adult bedtime stories. If you like a certain image from my videos, tell me in comments and give timestamp. Happy trails. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more great content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.